My name is Owen King. This is my network design proposal. Project scope. The project involves the replacement of wireless network hardware with equipment complying with the 802.11 IEEE standard. This covers 32 community building sites, which will all require Wi-Fi. Each site will require 2 wireless IP phones, 2 sales kiosks, 2 laptops to support the sales team at each community. It will also require 15 iPads per site for the use of the construction team to provide timely updates on work completed. Hardware such as Wi-Fi routers, range extenders will be required at each site as well. The project is necessary because the current network uses proprietary standards which are not cost effective, do not allow for the ease of upgrade or flexibility. The current wireless network will need to remain in place until the new network is ready to deploy. Network upgrade should not interfere with ongoing construction and/or sales. Feasibility study. Feasibility study has 5 major components. 1 is secure service. The main objective of the network is to supply a high-quality wireless network which will support the sales team, construction team, guests or potential customers on site. Will need to be uniform using the 802.11 standard across all sites. Integration and updates. All hardware using proprietary standards needs to be replaced. Additional user devices will need to be acquired as well. Versatile information process. The network needs to allow construction workers to send updates to the corporate office, allowing the sales kiosk to display options for homes and submit them to the corporate office and sales team. Sales team needs to be able to use their software and coordinate with corporate office. Collaboration. All devices need to be able to connect to the network on each site and will need to be able to connect to the corporate network as well. Scalability. The upgrade using the 802.11 standard scalability will be significantly easier than with proprietary technology. This is because we don't have to rely on one company. It'll also help with the cost of upgrades, as we'll have multiple options for each piece of equipment instead of relying on one proprietary standard and being stuck with one company. Intended users. Many mobile devices will need to be available to access the corporate network across the construction site and sales offices using iPads and sales laptops. Signal for the guest network should be available in the sales office and model homes. The coverage for construction and sales employees should cover the community property. Design assumptions. Potential factors affecting the project will be maintaining the current network until the new network is ready to deploy, working around construction and sales schedules as to not interfere with ongoing work. IT staff training will need to be conducted prior to deployment of the new system to ensure a seamless transition. Network needs analysis. As well as data types, data sources, number of users that will need to be supported, speed requirements, load variation estimates. Home design specifications from sales kiosks will be connected to the corporate network and entered into a database. Construction workers' progress reports will be sent to the corporate network. Sales kiosks will need to be connected to the internet to access options for the customers to choose from. They'll also need to be connected to the corporate home network, where the data will be entered in the database. Data sources will be sent to be stored on the corporate network and database. Construction updates go from the worker to the sales office and then sent there from the corporate network, while customer options and specifications will be stored in the corporate database for later use. Number of users that will need to be supported. Network will need to support the construction workers, both sales kiosks and sales laptops. There will be a total of 19 user devices, but they will be unlikely to be more than 5 to 10 in use at any one time. Speed requirements. The users will expect to be able to utilize the sales kiosks with minimum loading time. It is crucial that construction crews are able to send their updates over Wi-Fi without any delay. causing a slow in production. Phones are going to be voice over IP and need to be reliable. Recommended bandwidth of 100 megabits per second will be able to support the needs of our team on site. Specific reliability and bandwidth needs for voice over IP will be mentioned in our quality of service requirements in the next section. Load variation estimates. It's unlikely, as we mentioned earlier, that more than 5 to 10 devices will be in use at the same time. Only 4 devices and the phones will need to be connected off-site. The construction team only needs to be able to communicate on the wireless LAN itself. The heaviest use will be on the online connected sales kiosks and sales teams uploading files and documents. Moving on to quality of service requirements. Quality of service is of utmost importance for several key applications and devices to function properly. Our sales office needs reliable communications for the wireless IP phones, which will be using a wireless network. 3 metrics we will be using to evaluate acceptable voice quality over our wireless phones are network mean opinion score, MOS, inter-arrival jitter, and packet loss. The minimum acceptable values are 3.5 over 5 MOS with a target score of 4.0, 50 milliseconds jitter with the target of 10 milliseconds. These metrics will be a reflection of packet loss. A separate 5 GHz network will be used for IP phones connection and must be set at a minimum bit rate of 12 megabits per second. It's important that it is 5 GHz specifically for the IP wireless phones due to its lower noise floor when compared to the 2.4 GHz band. Sales kiosks require reliable connection to our company's database. Losing connection for these kiosks will result in the inability to send and store customer information when selecting options for their home purchase, and potentially a lost sale or customer. Sales kiosks and salesperson laptops will both require a constant and reliable connection. The reason for separating the two is to decrease packet loss and reduce call quality for the IP phones. Reliability and security requirements. Users will expect continuous, uninterrupted Wi-Fi service to support sales kiosks, voice over IP phone service, and the contractor's iPads. Quality of service, connection speeds, and acceptable values can be seen in the preceding quality of service section. Security requirements. As our network is going to be spread across a large, partially open area, it may be susceptible to possibility of jamming from inside or outside the perimeter of the facility, denial of service attack, an assault that can cripple or disable a wireless LAN. Wireless networks are particularly vulnerable to denial of service attacks, as service can be interrupted not only through flooding the network with useless packets, but also through jamming and attacking the 802.11 protocols, disabling portions of the network. 802.11 uses carrier sense multiple access, CSMA, which prevents transmission if a station is waiting. Transmit data perceives the medium is busy and can be exploited. Access management protocol exploitations is LDAP injection, uses bypass authentication to store credentials. Input validation is key to preventing these attacks. Rogue access points are wireless access points that have been installed in secure networks without authorization from the network administrator. Wireless intrusion protection can help identify the existence of a rogue access point. Protect against these various exploits. There's several security measures we will be undertaking. Emergency response plan will be developed and tested to respond against natural disasters and denial of service exploits. VPN will be utilized to connect offsite to the corporate office. Firewalls protect the perimeter of the network, as well as intrusion detection system and intrusion prevention systems will help various exploits to include rogue access points, unauthorized network intrusion. Security measures for Wi-Fi can overlap several other wireless technologies which have similar vulnerabilities. The company needs to remain compliant with these various security measures for protection of non-public information, as well as Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act and the Fair Credit Reporting Act, so we will be dealing with customers' private information. This is an overview of a single site network. Finally, our cost analysis, we anticipating a cost per site of $20,985. Thank you.